This is Movietone. Leslie Mitchell reporting. Read their communique, and you'll see how determined they are that the rebellion in Rhodesia is brought to an end. In fact, the meeting of Commonwealth statesmen in Lagos produced more agreement than we ever expected. They decided to appoint a sanctions committee and to meet again in July if the crisis demands it. Mr. Wilson's personal view is that the conference was a success not only for Britain, but for the Commonwealth. It confirmed full Commonwealth support for Zambia, the next port of call for Mr. Wilson and Mr. Bottomley. In talks with President Kaunda, the Prime Minister is believed to have diminished a lot of Zambian suspicion about Britain's policy. He discussed how Britain will restrict Rhodesia's economy while protecting Zambia's. In particular, he mentioned the airlift, which he described as the most successful since the airlift to Berlin. Meanwhile, in Salisbury, 3 British MPs were being manhandled. Later, they were expelled by the Rhodesian government. Mr. Bottomley was due to go to Rhodesia himself, while Mr. Wilson flew home via Kenya. It was during this flight to Kenya that the Prime Minister made a statement condemning the Rhodesian action, which was to cause Mr. Bottomley to cancel his visit. A cheerful welcome from President Kenyatta before the two leaders discussed the situation. Mr. Wilson condemned the rough treatment of the British MPs as typical of Mr. Smith's regime. But he also condemned the use of force against that regime. However, one decision at these African talks should not be overlooked by Mr. Smith. The Lagos conference, discussing the use of force, agreed that if it becomes necessary to restore law and order, military force may well be used. Britain's foot